Gully, then it's pretty much one lane traffic from there on. So I don't know where that starts or whatnot, but, you know, my suggestion was that we reach out to them and suggest, you know, the Forest Service, we have a contract with, on our side of the house, contract with Forest Service, contract with Bureau of Reclamation, you know, why is there anything for BLM, you know, to, just on our side, but
Sure.
I think the major concern was, one of them was these major injuries, and they just don't have the equipment to get to them. So it's, you know, gonna come down to a proposal for some sort of UTV to get back in there that's stationed down there that we can actually utilize in a timely manner.
I think the other two was, you know, a spot for the helicopter, because that was kind of part of their
Yeah.
plan was, is if there's a serious injury, they're gonna go ahead and get the helicopter coming as well, so,
Yep.
so that'll be a portion of this as well.
Mike? I was up there yesterday about 11 o'clock, and there were 75 vehicles in the established parking lot.
Wow.
There were 2 porta potties, there were private Kaplunk rental units, very windy, and there were several other locations where people had camped out, campers. There must have been, I'd say, 150 vehicles up there, 300 or 400 people riding bikes. It goes back for 2 to 3 miles. And the bike trails do. They're building more bike trails on the other side of the ridge there over into the backside. Cell coverage is kind of spotty. The lane going up from the highway, 287 on up there to that private property, is about 60 feet wide. The problem is, a lot of people will park there, unload their bikes. They'll be parked on both sides, and then, because they don't want to go all the way up. If you go into BLM land, like Brandon said, you get down into this one little gully. And it's pretty rough. I don't know why people drag up there. Pretty nice Winnebagos and campers and all that fancy stuff up there. A lot of people, children, not a lot of grass up there, some sagebrush down in the gullies, there's some junipers, not a shade tree in place. Real dry, a lot of people, and a lot of advanced course. I got out and looked around. There is a state section, the south of that, there's only one way in and one way out. And I think the biggest problem is when we're trying to bring in emergency vehicles in, is trying to get in. People were coming and going all the time. There were some people there early in the morning that were leaving. And it's just a lot of traffic going through there. A lot of places to pull over, and a lot of bottlenecks. And if they're gonna have several thousand people up there in October, we need an emergency response plan, just like we do have built here for Fall Fest, to work with the rural fire district down there, and the ambulance service down there, and our sheriff's office. It's all in Broadwater County. A lot of people, a lot of dogs. There's gonna be a lot of problems.
So is all the recreation on BLM?
Yes, that is correct. There was a couple sections, there's a couple areas of strips in there of mining claims, private patented mining claims. You can get on the cadastro and look at it. Those are unfenced, it's just where the public road goes through, they got a bunch of signs that private property sale. It's hard to tell where those mining claims there are. Up in there, there's a lot of junk up there. Kids and people can climb on and stuff. Just like they had a smelter up there at one time.
I think we talked about that it's rattlesnake country as well.
Oh, I would imagine. But there's some really advanced bike trails up there, steep, really, really advanced. There's gonna be some bad accidents. It's hard to locate, to get there to where they're at, hard to know. We need a mapping system, a mapping of all their trails, that they're putting in trails themselves. BLM's giving them permission to go into the little dozer, put all these trails in, they got some signs. A lot of people, it's just something that's very far remote for us to get in there for a medical emergency. Not much to burn other than the draws, some juniper, just godforsaken country.
I heard there was gonna be, I thought Congressman Gianforte was gonna come through for some meetings. This would be the perfect issue to invite a BLM person to be here and to talk to him about that, cause it's gonna take some money.
He was here Friday, wasn't he?
I thought he had to cancel.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'm not sure. He may, but I was gone, so he may have, but, you're right, he may have actually come through already. But, I mean, it's the kind of thing where I think to do this right, BLM's gonna need some money.
So Nicole, you were gonna say something.
So I've been in conversation with Brad. He is the recreation manager for BLM out of Butte. They are wanting to do some improvements to the roads, specifically the portion going east where you drop down and make that turn past the old homestead and go up. I mean, I think we all know that's a really gnarly turn. So they are going to be straightening that out, widening the road, with donations from, not the Tog plant, someone down there in Three Forks. They're actually going to do the work for free. So I know that they've got this in the works. Brad was actually going to be finalizing his maintenance plan this week. So I can talk to him about getting that off to us. And then maybe this is timely to set up another meeting. Maybe we can see if BLM can come again with their UTVs
Be great.
and take emergency services, commissioners, DES, Corey, and go and, I think, tour these areas. I mean, I think we found that it was really beneficial for the Spokane Hills area. It's really the only way that you can get back there and see a lot of that country. And then also, if they know that we're keyed into their maintenance plan, how do we deal with this from emergency responder standpoint, from the county standpoint? How do you manage this? Even though it's not county land, it does impact the county.
No, I don't recall the road from the highway to the cattle guard being one lane. We were there year and a half ago. Is it wide enough?
It's a 60-foot easement,
Okay,
but it's probably only a 24-foot surface. So.
okay, which would be enough. I know crowds and everything make it even harder and you have to slow down quite a bit, but I was trying to envision it was one way and I wasn't sure that's where my memory was
The
taken.
county part isn't, the county part's wide enough, but
Okay.
people will park on both sides of the county road. So that
Oh,
leaves you
okay, so that makes
with
it
pretty much
narrower.
one lane.
Okay,
You know, it's really, needs to have some no parking signs there.
and I'm sure Brad's on top of that too with his plan.
Possibly.
Okay. If
Again,
not,
that's
we
where
can
the
remind him.
ambiguity is that county. You know, it is a half a mile from the highway to the cattle guard. Is that county? Is that BLM?
That's private land.
Well, it's privately owned, but the easement. If it's a county road easement, or is it a BLM easement?
Okay,
All right,
I
well,
thought it was a county road easement when they closed Copper City Road off of Old Town, as I recall.
That was
That was
the
the
intention. I'm just doing the research to confirm that all the stuff got filed, and I had to set it aside because I had to do this trial, so, but I think, that's my understanding, Mike, I just have to confirm all the
Yeah,
papers. are done.
Mr. Schofield owned that land during that time.
Right, and from everything I found, and I could not find where the county or the gavel ever went down, where the commissioners adopted that portion of the road, especially after Mr. Schofield said, never mind, I don't want to proceed. So,
do you have something, Brandon?
I was just gonna, Mike covered it with the 2-lane, it is extremely wide all the way up to that cattle guard, it's where you start to drop down, it gets 1 lane, but like he said,
Okay.
you know, with people parking, it turns it into the 1 lane, so.
okay.
All right, well, thanks you guys.
Having a meeting out there with Brad might be real beneficial.
with Brad and Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you like me to see
Sure.
about organizing something like that? And
Great.
just do like a half a day
Yep.
tour?
that'd be great.
Okay.
And then also if we had the rest of the road story, that would be good
Yeah.
for that discussion,
Perfect.
yeah.
Alright.
All right,
Would you stay for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay,
For Jerry?
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think Jerry himself is
Oh, okay.
coming, we just have the scope of work we have to adopt.
Perfect. Okay.
thanks, Cory.
Thank you.
So this is the Great West Engineering adopted scope of work for the growth policy CIP floodplain update. We've got this project broken out into, update of the county growth policy, $20,000, update of the county capital improvements plan, $17,500, update to the county floodplain regulations, $5,000.
So the only question that I had, or one of the questions, is under section 1, 2, 5, under delay of project, on the first page. says that the project is delayed by circumstances beyond Great West control for 30 days or more. Client shall pay Great West a mobilization fee equal to 10% of the contract amount or $10,000, whichever is less. I guess my question is, I mean, it may be out of their control, it may be out of our control as well. And I don't know why we'd be obligated to pay them $10,000 if something happens that was out of everybody's control. I wish Jerry was here to address that.
We didn't invite him.
I know.
This is a plan, so I'm not even sure that I appreciate that it's in there, I appreciate the questions, I'm not sure it's something that I'm gonna lose any sleep over, just because this isn't an engineering project, this is just a plan. Plan that we need by law, so it's not just a plan, but, I'm not sure it would be relevant.
Well, I'm sure it's in there, and they'll hold our feet to the fire if something happens. I guess I just wanted to address to know that you can go both ways.
Well, our agenda does say, issues and times are subject to change. I'm agreeable to addressing this, maybe later on this afternoon, if you wanna take some
Yeah.
time and give Jerry a call and, share what he says about that.
That's just part of their standard agreement,
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem
but
with
it's still included in there.
it. Yeah. I mean, I could see if it was something that we did to impact that, which I don't foresee us doing,
So,
you know, but.
and where I see that is if he is building a garage next to the courthouse, then something happens like a hailstorm or, arson, something like that, that puts off the project by 30 days, then they need to be kept whole as a company. But I just don't see that with a written plan. I think it's more standard stuff. But yeah, I'm agreeable if that's good with you guys, to
I
waiting.
think we could ask them if they can strike it or do something.
Or just add why it's there.
Okay.
Guess we'll put this on hold until this afternoon, we get hold of Jerry and get a clarification on that, or have him strike it.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Thank you.
So is there anything else to come before the commission?
May I ask one
Yes, ma'am.
question? What's the excavation at the Cedar Street dump site?
What is it? There's no excavation.
They're digging a big hole and pumping water out of it, and what's all that about?
That's
Oh,
the
that's
city.
The city.
City
What are they
project.
doing?
They're putting in their lift station for their sewer.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the city.
There was one thing, and that's kinda why I invited Mary here. We wanted to talk about the old town, the old Towson Bridge, and our concerns about increased traffic on that bridge. So,
So I took a look at the bridge report this morning, actually. They went through and did a bridge rating last year. And they don't have access to the system's, structure report yet, on there. I can get that, I put in my request for that this morning. I should have it when I get back to my office.
are there weight limits on it right now, Mary?
What's that?
Are there posted weight limits on it right now?
On
I believe so.
Yes, there are.
I don't
I don't know
go,
what there
you
are,
know,
but there is the post.
I personally do not drive over that bridge
Okay.
because
Brandon?
the superstructure and the substructure both have a rating of 4, which means it's in poor condition. The deck is rated at 6, it's fair condition. So, if any component of the bridge, either the superstructure or the substructure, is rated at 4 or less, it's considered structurally deficient. I am concerned about people driving that. I would not have any big trucks driving over that bridge, right now. You know, like I said, I'm not a bridge engineer. I will get that report and I will get it to you guys on that. But, that's where it is right now. That is the status of that bridge. It's structurally deficient. So I do have concerns about people driving over that if they're trying to get around any construction, but, you know, looking at what's going on with construction down there, at least this year, I don't anticipate anyone really having the need to go over that bridge, to get to the Boston site. Because I don't think that we're not gonna see any major changes on the current Toston structure down there for 2 years, when they actually take the current bridge out of service, the current highway bridge out of service.
So I just found out something this morning, and I don't know if it's true, but maybe you heard this, that they're planning to build actually a construction bridge alongside, or in the area where they're gonna put in the new bridge, so that they have access in that area to help build off from.
And I'm not aware of that, and that's nothing that came up in that pre-construction meeting.
I don't know, Mike told me that, he said he found that out at the meeting they had at the school here a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So I wasn't aware of that, I don't know if that's true or not, I mean, that would alleviate a lot of those problems. I guess the main thing is I just wanted everybody to be aware of it, that make sure that it's posted properly for weight limits, and, you know.
And I will reach out to the contractor and the subcontractor
Yeah.
as well.
Right, and just kinda let them know to,
I will.
I know it's easy for them to not have to jump out on the highway, it's, you know, like where they're doing right now, where they're putting in that pipe, the cement
Mhm.
for the spring ditch,
Right,
you know, if those guys need to get over to the other side, it's a lot easier for them to go that way than
yeah,
fight the traffic.
right,
I guess that's what I anticipate,
okay,
things happening in that, like that,
okay.
you know.
Mm.
All right. That's all I got.
Anything else? Yes, sir.
Good morning, I'm Richard Tramp, I live up Silos, 125 Tea Kettle. Anyway, I helped coordinate getting the lift on the wheelchair lift on the docks there, the slips. I did drop off a grant application. I don't know if I need to get on your agenda to talk about this, or just blurb it out.
It goes through the trust board, and then after they approve it, then it comes to us.
I went to the trust board, and they said, come see you guys.
Really?
Yes, they don't have any money for that. There is a problem with the lift. One of the cylinders is not functioning, so
They actually funded that when it went
they
in.
did.
So it's definitely in their scope.
Yes.
And they didn't let us know that they had given you that, direction. So we'll have to follow up with the trust board. I'm sorry Debbie's not still here.
Okay, I did drop the application off in your mailbox last week at the
Oh,
trust,
okay.
after the trust meeting, and, anyway,
We forwarded that to the trust board. We did keep a copy for ourselves.
oh, good.
So, yeah, we, maybe that should go on the agenda next week and discuss how to proceed with that.
Is
I think it goes to
more
our,
procedural, and call me if Because there is a estimate in there for the park.
Okay,
And it's a plug and pull, so our walleyes group can do it. I've communicated with the manufacturer, and we checked a number of things out on it, but that is the problem, and, anyway.
So
Okay, thank you.
did the trust board deny the grant?
They didn't deny it, they just said they do not have a funding procedure. They said they don't get any, no, never mind. That'd be something to check out with the trust board, I guess.
this is, part of our, putting our boards together with the bylaws. This is one of the things that, we've been requesting from the trust board is a, what's eligible, what isn't, and what's the judging criteria. We don't have any of that yet, but I think this is an example of why we need it, so I
Yes.
appreciate this. We'll get to the bottom of it and let you know.
Yeah, they indicated it, it's a maintenance item as well, but, whether it's purchasing it. So, there you go, yes.
All right,
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You can let me know if you have any questions or
absolutely, we will, yeah.
I should go. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Richard.
So if there's nothing else to come to the board, we will adjourn at 11:20 or 12:20
Maybe just recess.
recess.
Thanks for coming, everyone.